Hey y'all, hey. So I've been working the polls. Before you start judging, not those polls, the early voting polls for our general election here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we've been getting a couple of questions that I feel are really important that we don't cover in our ballot breakdowns. The first is the difference between the primary and the general elections. All right, so the best way I can explain the primaries versus the general elections is like the playoffs versus the Super Bowl. In the playoffs, you have several teams that are all trying to make it to that spot in the finals, right? The same to be said for the political party candidates that are all interested in making that one spot as their representative for their party in the general election. Now, this can be a little tricky because in some instances, like we saw in the city council election here in Charlotte, the person who wins the primary for their political party could also win the seat for their election, which means that there may have not been another person from another political party interested in that seat. This is what happens sometimes in primaries, which is why it's so important for us to, number one, look and see if they're running opposed or unopposed in our district. And it's important for us to make sure that we vote in the primaries for the candidate that most aligns with us. When someone wins the primary as their political party's representative, but isn't running unopposed, meaning that there's other teams that are now coming up against you, you have to take that vote to the general election, which means now we're choosing against not just the people within one party, but against several different parties. Each political party's winners battle it out, and a winner is decided amongst them. But it's important to remember that not every position has a political party affiliation. In this election, the school board candidates are unaffiliated with political parties, but you can learn more about their values on their websites and on certain election platforms. The general election also has addendums that can be voted on, which is different from the primaries. So you have to come back and make sure that you're looking at those addendums and voting accordingly to your values. Now, some people may ask, should I vote in the primaries or in the general election? And the answer is you have to vote in both. Number one, because if you have a party affiliation, you have to make sure your voice is heard for the candidate that most aligns with your values in the primaries. And then you have to seal the deal or just vote on the addendums in the general election. Both have their purpose and are necessary, even if it is just one or two things on your ballot. Voting ends for early voting here in Charlotte on Saturday, November 1st. Get out and vote. And if you can't make it out, make sure to go and vote in the main day of elections here, which is our voting day on November 4th. Thanks for listening and see you soon.